Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Is my voice audible? Okay, thank you. So let us wait for some time. Okay, how much did we cover last class? Can anybody say? Did we start lime stabilization? Granular piles installation technique. Okay, Tashi, thank you. So I think we can start. Today we'll be discussing about lime stabilization of soil. Okay, it is included under module 3. Can you all see the screen? Is the screen visible? Okay. So we'll be discussing about lime in soil stabilization, how we can use lime for soil stabilization, and what are the processes of mixing lime and all in the soil. Okay. So before that, we must know what is stabilization of soil or soil stabilization. So anybody can say what is soil stabilization? Just in one or two words. What is soil stabilization? Anybody? Or you can just respond yes or no. If you don't know, you can just respond no. If you know, you can say. I'm not getting any response. You know or not about soil stabilization? Just say yes or no. No. Okay, fine. So just listen. Soil stabilization. Actually, in previous classes also I have told you a bit. So So it is soil stabilization is a term, okay, that is used for any physical, chemical, or mechanical, or you can say also biological, okay, method of changing the natural soil to actually it is the method by application of certain process, whether the process may be physical or chemical or biological. So, by the application of those processes, if we change or alter the properties of natural soil to so that we can utilize the soil for engineering works, then that is called soil stabilization. Okay, suppose some weak soil, in some weak soil we cannot do our work, or we cannot do construction works and all. So we will try to change the engineering properties like bearing strength, bearing capacity, shear strength. Will try to increase the bearing capacity and all, and reduce the pore water pressure. So for these purposes we'll apply certain techniques like we can either mix some chemicals to the soil, then we can apply some physical processes to change the properties to make the soil more stronger. Okay, those techniques are termed in one word, that is soil stabilization or stabilization of soil. Okay, and this is a generally an improvement work, and these improvement work include increasing the bearing capacities, tensile strength, and we can say overall performance of the soil. Okay, now there are various processes, as I've told, physical, chemical, then this. Okay, so generally here we will deal with this chemical process, which is termed under chemical stabilization of soil. That has one more unit, or one more topic will be there, that is chemical stabilization of soil, how we stabilize the soil using various chemicals. So here we'll be studying about lime. Okay, so you see, lime is utilized as an effective way to modify soil, improving both workability and load bearing capacity characteristics while increasing stability and permeability. So quicklime and lime kiln dust can also be used to dry wet soil at construction site, reducing downtime and providing an improved working surface. So there are various types of lime we know. Okay, this lime, it is used to modify the strength and workability and load bearing characteristic or load bearing capacity of the soil. Then limes are of various types. Then generally for stabilization purpose, quick lime and hydrated lime is used. So, and lime kiln dust. So lime kiln dust is nothing but the product that are formed while manufacturing the lime, while manufacturing quick lime. Okay, while manufacturing quick lime, some waste products are formed, and that is called lime kiln, and that can also be used for stabilization of soil. Now, two types of lime we generally used, I have said, that is quick lime and hydrated lime. But in most of the cases, we generally prefer the use of hydrated lime instead of quick lime. Okay, we can use quick lime also, and in many places, quick limes are used. But generally, hydrated lime is much preferable. Why? Because hydrated lime, it is, somebody is texting that to allow. Okay, those who are waiting in the lobby, please ask your friends to stay there. When I will stop sharing the screen, only then I will be able to allow them to enter. Okay, I won't be able to allow now. So hydrated lime is generally preferred because it is safe for the workers who will be working there. And quick lime has got some risk for the workers who works with the lime, okay, because it reacts very quickly when it is exposed to the atmosphere, the quick lime, and it may cause some damage or harmful damage it may cause to the workers. Okay, if suppose this barehanded, if they touch and all the quick lime, then this may cause burning effects and various other problems in the skin and all. So generally hydrated lime is preferred, and whether we use quick lime or hydrated lime, the result is almost same at the end. Okay, just the time consumption for quick lime is little bit less as compared to hydrated lime, as we I have told you that quick lime, it reacts very quickly as when it is exposed to the atmosphere. Okay, the application of lime can significantly improve the engineering properties of soil. There are essentially two forms of improvement: soil modification and soil stabilization. The use of lime can modify almost all fine grained soil to some extent, but the most dramatic improvement occurs in clay soil of moderate to high plasticity. Modification occurs primarily due to exchange of calcium cations supplied by the hydrated lime for the normally present cation absorbed on the surface of the clay minerals. Modification is also caused by hydrated lime reacting with the clay mineral surface in a high pH environment. The clay surface mineralogy is altered as it reacts with calcium ion to form cementitious product. The results are plasticity and swelling reduction, reduced moisture holding capacity, and improved stability. So, since lime is a kind of chemical, so when we mix the lime in the soil, of course, some chemical reactions will take place, and some ion exchange processes will occur in chemical reactions. We know ion exchange processes occurs, so these reactions will occur. These ion exchange processes will occur, which will lead to some reactions, and because of that reaction the soil will gain strength and stability. Okay, and generally this application of lime for soil stabilization is done for clay soil. Okay, in clay soil the result obtained is very good. So generally when we need to stabilize or modify the clay soil, we can use lime. Soil stabilization occurs when proper amount of lime is added to a reactive soil. One more thing, this term reactive soil, okay. We can use lime for stabilization purpose only when the soil is reactive. If the soil is non-reactive, we cannot use lime for stabilization. Now, what does this reactive soil means? Means the soil should have proper cations and anions to be able to react with the lime. Okay. If the soil is non-reactive, that means it has got not much, these cations and anions are not sufficient to react with the lime, then the result will not get the result we desired. Okay, so the soil should be reactive type. It should be able to react with the lime. Stabilization differs from modification in that a significant increase in strength is developed over a longer time through an ongoing pozzolanic reaction. So pozzolanic reaction, all of you know, you have heard in previous semesters and also in various subjects, especially in construction management and concrete technology. You have heard pozzolanic reaction while you have studied while studying cement. So pozzolanic reaction occurs when we add lime to the soil, and this reaction results from the formation of calcium silicate hydrates and calcium aluminates, as the calcium from the lime reacts with aluminates and silicates solubilized from the clay mineral surface. Can anybody tell me what are pozzolana or pozzolanic content? Yes. Rakesh Giba, are you speaking something? I'm unable to hear you. Just mute yourself and can write in the chat box. You can write the answer in the chat box. Please mute yourself, Rakesh Giba. I'm unable to hear you. Fly ash or volcanic ash. Now I'm asking what are the contents, presence of what minerals or what are the things that should be present so that we can say that the soil or the chemical has got the pozzolanic content. The proper term, the proper thing that must be present. Rakesh Giba, please mute yourself. Rakesh Giba, please mute yourself. Silicon dioxide, not silicon dioxide, not actually. Silica and aluminum. Yes, Himal, good. Silica and aluminium. Okay. The presence of silica and aluminium defines the pozzolanic content of any material or soil or any chemical. Okay. So the soil should have the proper pozzolanic content to be able to react with the lime. So this reaction can begin quickly and is responsible for some of the effects of modification. However, the full-term pozzolanic reaction can continue for a long period of time, often for many years. As a result, some soil can produce very significant strength gains when treated with lime. The key to pozzolanic is Rakesh Giba there? Please mute yourself or I will have to put you outside the meeting. Anybody please contact Rakesh Giba and tell him to mute himself. He is not attending the class. I'm sure he's outside somewhere. Just he's connected and kept it. However, the full term pozzolanic reaction can take longer period. Okay, the key to pozzolanic reactivity and stabilization is a reactive soil and proper mix design protocol. The result of soil stabilization can include very substantial increases in resilient modulus values, significant improvement in shear strength, continued strength gain over time, and long-term durability over decades of service. So one advantage we have here is that the pozzolanic reaction takes place, and this pozzolanic reaction, it continues for very longer time period. Okay, and along with the passage of time, the reaction keeps on proceeding and the strength gain of the soil keeps on increasing with time, and after certain period it stops. Okay, but the time period is very long, maybe for many years or like this. So this has got one of the main advantage of this process. Okay, so see these things, whatever is written, you'll understand, and nothing much to explain here. Now we'll go to principle of lime soil stabilization. The principle involved in lime soil stabilization is the exchange of ions between lime and soil when added. So I have told you this thing. When clayey soil is treated with lime, cation exchange take place between them. which increases plastic limit and reduces plasticity index, which finally results in increase in stability of soil. So this line you mark, okay. So when cation, the reaction takes place when lime is added to the soil, the plastic limit increases, and obviously when plastic limit will increase, plasticity index will get decreased, which will result in the increase in stability of soil. Okay, if clay contains gravel, then lime acts as binding material for clayey gravels. Then these things you can go through whatever is there, you just see. And this lime treatment is suitable for hot climate, okay, where the temperature is hot. So in those place lime treatment is most suitable. In colder regions where the climate is cold, the lime treatment is generally not suitable. Okay. Then we see the method of mixing lime to soil. So what are the various steps involved? The first is the soil which needs stabilization is scarified and pulverized by suitable equipment. Scarified and pulverized means to clean the soil and to break the lumps. In some places the soil may form lumps. No? Those lumps should be broken. Okay, that is scarified and pulverized. Now add some amount of lime to the pulverized soil, either in powdered form or in the form of slurry, and mix using suitable equipment. In general, slurry is recommended for better mixing. So lime we can add to the soil either in the powdered form or in the form of slurry. Slurry means by mixing some water to the lime, making it in the form of slurry, and then we can mix the lime to the soil using suitable equipments. But if we mix the lime in the powdered form in the soil, then we need to spray or sprinkle some amount of water after mixing. Okay, so if lime powder is used, water should be sprayed over the soil. Leave this mixture for 1 to 4 days, since lime reaction is slow process and needs some time. So after mixing the lime, we need to leave it for 1 to 4 days. Okay, then after that add rest of the lime content and mix it for final time. Then remaining lime we can add accordingly. Then we need to compact. Spread the soil to required grade and compact it using rollers. Compaction should get required maximum dry density. So after compaction, it should gain maximum dry density, and after compaction also we should keep it or leave it for a few days. The compacted lime soil layer is allowed for moist curing for 1 week. Now for 1 week we should leave it for curing purpose. Okay. Then field tests are conducted to check whether water content and maximum dry density of compacted. Then after this 1 week we can check uh, the maximum dry density of the compacted soil. Okay, and will get this at optimum moisture content. So this is the process of mixing the lime. Nothing much is there, simple, just to go through and see the videos, it will be clear to you. Up to this much, is it clear to all? Is it clear to all? Yes. Okay, fine. Then we'll move to the next.
Yeah, ma'am, it's clear.
Okay. So next we move to the factors affecting lime soil stabilization. So is the screen visible? Factors affecting lime soil stabilization it is showing. Okay. So let us see what are the various factors that affect lime soil stabilization. soil type, lime content, compaction, curing additives. Okay, so one by one, soil type. So soil type, first of all, I have told you that the soil should be of reactive type. So you see the type of soil used in stabilization should be of reactive type soil, which means the soil should react with lime content when added. That is, it should have proper pozzolanic content, and the proper cations and anions will react with the lime. So it should be able to react with the lime. To react with lime, the soil should contain pozzolanic content in good amount. So this is what pozzolanic content, that is the presence of aluminium and silica. When lime is added to pozzolanic soil in presence of water, calcium hydroxide from lime reacts with siliceous and aluminous material of the soil and form a mix with cementitious properties. So when this lime will react with this pozzolanic content, it will form a cementitious properties. Then this reaction is called as pozzolanic reaction. This reaction will increase the strength of lime soil mix, and strength gain is gradually increased with age since pozzolanic reaction continues for longer periods. So I've told you pozzolanic reaction continues for longer periods of time, and with time it will keep on increasing the strength of the soil. Okay, but it is not that don't think that it will continue to infinity time. It is not like this. Then and the soil will keep on gaining the strength for infinity time. It is not like this. After certain period, you can say after 10 to 12 years, like this, the reaction will obviously stop depending on the amount of pozzolanic content. So how long the reaction will continue, it will completely depend on the amount of pozzolanic content that is present in the soil. Okay, next we see lime type. Quick lime is more effective than hydraulic lime, but however there is only slight difference in the final result. If quick lime is used, care should be taken by workmen, otherwise skin burns, etc. may occur. Already I have told you this thing. So in most of the cases, hydraulic lime is used either in dry powdered form or by mixing water. By mixing water, that is by making the slurry in the slurry form. Okay. Then we see lime content. When lime content is added to soil in presence of water, plastic limit increases, thereby plasticity index decreases. So this also we have discussed in the principal part, principle of lime soil stabilization. Obviously, when plastic limit will increase, plasticity index will get decreased, and since plasticity index will get decreased, the strength gain will be more. So this relation between plastic limit, plasticity index, and strength gain of soil you have studied already before. Formulas are there. When lime content is added further, after a certain point the plastic limit starts decreasing. This point is termed as lime fixation point. Okay. When lime is added further, so you continue to add lime to the soil, and plasticity index will keeps on decreasing. At certain point it will stop, or it will become zero, and then it will start decreasing. The plastic limit, it will start decreasing. Okay, that point is termed as lime fixation point. Okay, you can mark this line. This 2 mark question, if it comes, you may get questions of this type. What is lime fixation point? So after achieving the lime fixation point, the strength we should not add further lime. Okay, if we add this further lime after this point, then the plastic limit will decrease and the strength gain will start decreasing. To obtain the desirable stability, plasticity index should be very low or zero, which means make the clay or soil as non-plastic material. Adding proper quantity of lime also increases shrinkage limit. Swelling can also be minimized by increasing lime content in the soil. So these are simple. Go through this, it will be clearer. Then compaction, I have told you after mixing the lime we should leave it for a few days, and then we do compaction. After compaction again we should leave it for 1 week for curing purpose, so that it is the moisture of the mixture is cured. So to obtain greater strength of lime soil mix, density of mix should be greater. Lime soil mix should be compacted at optimum moisture content at which the soil gets maximum compacted density or maximum dry density, we can say. Okay? So at optimum moisture content, the density we obtain is the maximum dry density. Okay, you have done these things practically in proctor test. Then curing is also an important factor in achieving good stabilized lime soil mix. Proper curing must be provided for the mix, especially during initial stages where rate of strength gain is rapid. But this strength gain is dependent of temperature. It should be dependent on, okay, dependent on temperature of that area. For low temperature region, rate of strength gain is very less. So I have told you that lime mix stabilization of soil is most suitable where the climate is hot, where the weather is hot in hotter regions. Okay, for colder regions it is not suitable. Humidity also affects curing and rate of strength gain of lime soil mix. Then additives, so we can use some additives along with lime to mix in the soil for improved strength of the soil. Okay, so additives are the materials which are added to improve the lime soil mix to improve its strength. Some additives generally used are Portland cement, fly ash, surki, etc. These are some of the additives we can use along with lime to mix in the soil. Okay, so if fly ash is available as waste product, then it is most recommended additive since it gives desirable strength at economical rates. So generally fly ash is the most common one. Chemical additives like sodium silicate, sodium sulfate, etc. can also be used. So these are few additives we can use along with lime for stabilizing the soil. Okay. So this much is enough for lime soil stabilization. And further, I have given these notes are available in portal, and you go through the video links of the YouTube that I have provided in the portal, it will be more clearer to you. So is it clear? Please mention in the chat box it is clear or not. Okay, to everybody it is clear. So if you have any doubt in case, you can ask in next classes also. Okay, then we can stop here, I guess. Okay, fine. That's all for today. Thank you, everyone.